it's about weed, but
Yeah, I'll say the Rascals. Aren't they the ones that have to mention marijuana?
yeah,
Okay, yeah.
absolutely are.
I try to keep up with Impact best I can.
Yeah. So another thing that they had was Jordan Grace versus Tenelle Dashwood. Tenelle Dashwood is Emma. I don't know if know if you remember the Emmalina.
Oh yeah.
Character, but the character is very similar to that, where it's all about her. They also had a women's tag team match. I can't remember who they faced, but it was Taya Valkyrie and Rosemary, where they came up with a win on that. Which I think that's why Russell House was there, is to build them up as a tag team, to be honest with you. The Impact show wasn't bad at all. I found it more interesting, weirdly enough, than NXT this week. There's another tag team match with Fallah Bahh. I can't remember who his partner was. No, I'm sorry, he wasn't a tag team match. It was a regular match. But the Impact is doing better things right now.
So you say that Wrestle House is possibly done?
Yeah, I think it might be done since it wasn't on this week.
One more unpopular thing to say. Amen. I'm sorry, could not get into Wrestle House. But you already know that though.
Yeah, I dug it. I don't know why you didn't like it that much.
There's like two parts in the whole thing that I seen that was, when they made references and different things, and I like, other than that, I just could not get into it. It just didn't feel like it was just a valuable time for the show. That's just an opinion, but I know.
I just remember who Fallah Bahh faced. He faced Johnny Swinger, and that was pretty funny. Which now Impact's offer advertising more frequently is the Impact Plus. And I guess they had Victory Road on Saturday, which you can find on Impact Plus. I don't have it currently, but I'm definitely looking into possibility of getting that in the future because it has a lot of the back content like WWE had.
Yeah,
and they ran that. And they ran an episode or a match. Gail Kim versus what's her name? The one from Beautiful People, Angelina Love, the one that's still.
Velvet Sky.
Not Velvet Sky, it's the one that's still there.
Oh,
Madison Rain.
Yeah,
Madison Rain.
Okay.
It threw me off because they had Taz and Mike Tenay on commentary, and I hear Taz's voice. I'm like, what? Because I didn't see the lead in. I just saw the match midway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember Taz being in there?
Yeah, I liked Taz on commentary. Actually, better on TNA and AEW. Which with Wednesday's show, they didn't have Tony Schiavone there. They had Taz, and I'm sorry, Taz is a great heel announcer, especially if it's someone that's in a feud against his guy, like Darby Allin in the Ricky Starks match. The dude is really, really good at getting people riled up over it.
Well, Tony was in the back doing the interviews. I'm guessing that's by storyline because the other guy, I can't remember his name right now, that does the backstage interviews, he got kicked by Young Bucks, not ironically, of course.
You're right.
So did Tony Schiavone.
Right, but what I basically mean is they didn't have the core three on commentary. They had Taz, JR, and Excalibur.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of that Darby Allin match, did you see that mid-ear spear from Ricky Starks?
Oh man, dude, that was sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a spear. I was like, man, he laid into him pretty damn good.
That was one of the better mid-ear spears that I've seen. I think the other one I would have to actually give to Reigns when he faced Shane McMahon, even though Shane kind of landed wrong.
Yeah. I know
that was one of the. Yeah, that was. And the way that Darby landed, it actually, one, looked like he kind of protected himself, but it did look like it would have hurt.
Yeah.
And then he did that coffin drop to the Ricky Starks back for the win. I'm a little worried. Yeah, I'm a little worried about Ricky Starks and Darby Allin with those moves because back on back does not seem like it'd be a great feeling.
Yeah, safe enough because they're used to being protecting themselves when they land with when someone lands on their chest or stomach. They're used to protecting themselves. So protect yourself with your back is
There's limitations to it.
Yeah. That's the best word for it. There's limitations towards it. So, but they gave it all, man. It's like I seen Stark's reaction when he started coming around a little bit, and like it'd be between him more in shock, I think, and selling the coffin drop too. It was a good reaction from him. Good sell. Good sell.
Yeah. And then they mentioned. Did you hear about the 8-man tournament for the AEW Championship match?
I heard about tournament. Yes.
So they had, I think they had Hangman there, and Hangman talking about how he didn't think Omega was going to have a singles run because he didn't have a match yet. Did you see his reaction or the way he sold, not knowing about Omega being in there?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. I thought it was a great sell. He's like, "What the hell?"
Yeah. It would be interesting to see if Hangman ends up in there and they actually do a Omega versus Hangman match, which honestly I think they should probably book at this point.
Yeah, I think they should. I think they're waiting on the right moment, I would say. But yeah, I think that would be a good match. I think it could happen in the tournament if Hangman's in there. I'm sure he will be. But
I think the tournament would be an organic way to set it up and be a nice way to kind of show whether or not Omega's a heel or not.
I think he should be a face.
Omega? Well, yeah, I think honestly.
I'm thinking Hangman. I think Hangman, he would be great either way.
I see Hangman as more of a heel character.
I mean, yeah, I think it'd be great. Yeah, it'd be a good heel character too. See what they're going to do with Omega. I mean, Omega's already had heel spots. He's had heel attitude here and there. So, seeing which one goes which way. It's going to be interesting to see. But I think that hopefully they help a 1-on-1 in this tournament.
Yeah, I think that'd be the best way to set it up personally. To kind of organically make it happen. And AEW's been decent with the booking in terms of long-term booking because like Ricky Starks and Darby Allin didn't really have a match against each other until just now, but there was a feud there, Yeah. And I think they'll do the right thing there. I really hope they'll do the right thing there at least.
And I like the feud involving Darby Allin with Team Taz too, especially Starks.
Yeah. Well, you got him. You got Will Hobbs and Brian Cage. So that's one of the things the AEW's been building factions, and they've been doing kind of decently to where it feels more organic, kind of like Team Taz. Like Taz brought in Brian Cage, but he's like, "Oh, okay, I need to grab another guy. Who could I grab? Oh, I'm gonna grab this Ricky Starks guy." So I think that's completely worth it.
Absolutely.
So the other thing, what did you think of that whole segment that they had about Miro and Kip Sabian for the best man thing?
It was interesting. It was it's good. It was a good segment. I mean,
I loved it.
It told more of a story about it, and preparing for the bachelor party.
Yeah, For me, it lets Miro show a different side of him. He made a reference to his old character because he said, "I'll crush them," and he did it in a very thick accent where he wasn't really speaking with a thick accent otherwise.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a good way to kind of blend Rusev and Miro together a little bit, pay homage to where he came from, and keep building on the character.
Yeah. I think it was a great build. It evolves more of the story between them two, and the continuation of the bachelor party to get hitched.
Yeah, I like what they're doing. I don't want to come across like I am like dead set like AEW can't do anything wrong because yes, they absolutely can. It's just they're impressing me, and maybe it's I have a low bar, or maybe it's just years of WWE feeling burned by WWE. But I like in general the majority of the direction that AEW is taking, with the exception I do think they're leaning towards making Omega heel and Hangman face, and I think that should be flipped. But that's just my personal opinion.
Honestly, there's definitely things that they to work on. It's like anybody has. It's always things to work on. The only thing that I wish they could do a little more is build more of a we see the heels and faces. We want to know more about them. We want to hear more about the characters and who's the who's identified more as a heel and face even more so. It's trying to build that, try to get to know these characters more, especially for the viewers out there who don't really know anything about AEW. I think that's one thing that AEW kind of lacks sometimes, especially for your person who watches AEW just wrestling, kind of here and there.
Right.
It'd be kind of good to get to these characters known. But honestly, it's like you said, it's like you watch WWE for so long, it's like it's like a same thing almost, and it's like your AEW, they do things a different way. I think one thing that helps them out with AEW is that the creative is so free. Like there's no, you have more freedom.
Right.
You're not stuck to one thing. You're not stuck to a boardroom full of writers who don't really rep wrestling.
Right.
They rep a television show, and that's fine and dandy for some, but it's just like if you don't have it, I've said this a number of times before, when you have wrestlers that have a freedom, it can turn into something cool. Obviously, we've been having that for over a year now. Well, for almost 1 year, however the actual date's going to be here next week or whatever. It's about 1 year, and I think it's what makes it better. It's just something that it's not thrown together, but it's not really in a boardroom. It's necessarily that's just something that's organic. That's me too.
Yeah, and I think that's necessary. Because they are kind of building their own stars. Like they had Orange Cassidy on there, and Orange Cassidy has mainly been developed on AEW. And they're kind of, I noticed what they're doing in that last match where they're making him try more, even though it's a little bit more against his character, but it weirdly fits. So,
and one thing you and I, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you there if I did.
Well, the only thing I was going to say is they had him go against 10, which I didn't know who the hell 10 was.
Who?
10 from the Dark Order.
They're
all numbered.
Yeah.
Like some of them I know who they are. I don't know who 10 is.
I don't know really much about those members. Just know more about Mr. Brady Lee. But when you talk a while back about this issues, I hear some people saying that they're getting the guys and girls, mostly just guys from WWE. I'm like, they're getting some people from there, but it's I said before, you have an alternative company. And if you don't like one company, go to the next company. What's for more opportunity or maybe more money.
Right.
It's just like any other job out there. If you don't want, for anybody who has just a regular old job, if you don't want to work for one company, well, you go apply for another job. It's just the same thing. It's just this is an alternative. If you don't want to be work for WWE, then go somewhere else. And so what's wrong with that? And AEW is still building their stars organically. The guys that's been on Independence or maybe Ring of Honor or Impact, whatever. But I think it would that's just fine. It's not like they're robbing or stealing away people's talent like someone did back in the 90s.
Or the 80s, if you want to call Vince out on it.
Yeah, and
so I don't. Yeah, well, Vince did it too, but my whole thing is like
both of them.
Yeah, my whole thing is why is that okay? Do people like to say that about AEW or any other company that came through, whether it be Impact or whatever? No one ever cast that stone at at WWE at all. AJ was a New Japan, Ring of Honor, and Impact guy. Samoa Joe, Ring of Honor, and Impact.